something crosses the road. It's skeletal like, fleshy, and it stands up, and then it like kind of just almost like leaps.
They look back and they see one. Clear as day. It walked 5 feet away from my audio recorder. We just saw a Bigfoot. Holy crap.
I've been pinched, I've been tapped on the shoulder, I've had my name hollered, a hand came up underneath my left arm. I said, little son of a bitch tried to get me. That was the time that I decided you don't sleep inside that building.
Did you see that?
The cowcur, it's big, it's white, and it runs faster than any man could ever run. And it would lean out behind the tree. And that's why we never go out, because the booger will get you.
What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Exploring the Unknown. I'm Dustin.
Luke.
And we are the hosts with the most ghosts. Today we had on Lisa Russell. She is one of the hosts of Squonkapalooza, and she is also the CEO of Cryptid Comforts. But first, let's get into some podcast mentions.
Don't forget to go check out our website, exploringtheunknownpod.com. We have a contact section there where you can type in your encounter and the possibility you can be on a future episode. And a donation section. You can donate to us through Cash App and PayPal. Anything will help. In the text box below, if you have a would you rather question, type it in and have a chance to be on a future episode. Affiliate links. We got Ghost Stop. If you purchase anything through that link, it will help us support the show. And YouTube. Don't forget to go check out our YouTube, subscribe, and hit the like button, and share our episodes. PA Bigfoot Camping Adventure. September 6th and 7th at Farmington, PA. We will be there selling merch, recording podcasts, and scheduling podcasts in the future.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's like right around the corner. I'm kind of nervous about it too, though. But I was at the other one, but you eased into it, you know.
We gotta buy some merch for people to start buying.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start getting our ducks in a row, because before you know it, we ain't gonna have time to get them in a row.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, man. I was excited to have Lisa on today. It was cool. Like I said, Lisa is not only one of the hosts of the popular Squonkapalooza, but she is also the owner and operator of Cryptid Comforts. Today, she shared her fascinating paranormal experiences from childhood and giving us an exciting preview of the upcoming Squonkapalooza event. So get ready for a captivating conversation that dives deep into the world of cryptids and the supernatural with Lisa Russell. I guess it would help if I hit record. What'd you say, Luke?
I asked her how she was back. Am I out? Can you hear me?
Yeah, your audio is kind of weird. I'm not sure what happened. We have technical difficulties sometimes.
Understood. I do too.
Yeah, I live out in the woods, kind of, so I don't get great internet. We don't have like regular internet. We have to use like cell phone internet.
I did.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better now?
Yes and no.
I swear. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, now you sound okay.
It looks good.
Yeah. So I know that we didn't really get to talk too much about what we were going to talk about on the podcast, so I thought that we could have like a little free form conversation. Maybe if you've had any spooky paranormal encounters, or if you want to talk about the Squonkapalooza.
I always want to talk about Squonkapalooza.
So have you had any paranormal encounters or anything?
When I was young, like 5 or 6 years old, 7 actually, 5, 6, 7, around then, we were living in upstate New York at the time, and we were renting this old duplex. And me and my sister were sharing a room for a little while. She eventually moved into her own room, but when we were sharing a room, it was this huge room, and our beds were like headboard to headboard.
Mm-hmm.
And like every night in the middle of the night around 3 a.m., I would feel 3 taps on my back. So for the longest time, I thought my sister was just screwing with me because that's what big sisters do. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. And eventually she moved to her own bedroom, and it kept happening. And like I woke up and I ran into her room, and she was dead asleep. Definitely was not her messing with me. Another time we came home, and we had like a little attic space that was our playroom. And we had a bunch of like old guest checks because the person who owned the house had owned a restaurant. So we had this stack of guest checks, and we would play, play server all the time up there. And we came home and found in our attic space, our playroom, all of the guest checks had been ripped off their books and piled into a pile in the middle of the room.
Oh, wow.
I would hear strange voices in that house. I remember one night, because I mean, this was back, in the 80s when it was okay to leave small children home alone. And my sister was probably 11 at the time, and I was about 7. And we were home alone. And I remember hearing voices and freaking out. We had to call the restaurant where mom and dad were having dinner with friends and beg them to come home. Of course, they thought we were overreacting. They're like, I'm sure it's just an open window. You're hearing voices from the street. I'm like, no, there is a difference between a voice in a room and a voice on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we lived in a haunted house for a while, I'm pretty sure, in upstate New York. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Did
A lot of weird things happened in that house.
had your sister or anybody else ever had any other experiences in there?
Nope.
No.
It was all directed at me.
That's interesting. As we were sitting here.
I mean, it could be that Kim just never told me about things too. So
Yeah.
that also seems possible, but she saw what happened to our playroom.
Mm-hmm.
And years later, like just 2 years ago or something, Dad was joking around about us moving to Tennessee from New York. And I was like, yeah, I should have just stayed and let the ghost raise me. He's like, what ghost? I was like, in the Aiello house. He's like, oh, yeah.
Oh.
And that was it. So
Oh.
he would have never acknowledged that if I had, wanted to talk about it at the time. But yeah, years later, he's just like, oh, yeah.
Huh. Makes you wonder if maybe he didn't have any experiences.
Yeah, I'm suspicious.
Yeah, definitely. As we're sitting here talking about these things, something kept popping up in my head. Had anybody ever told you, or have you ever maybe thought that you were like a sensitive, like an empath or psychic or something?
No.
No? It's possible. I don't know. Maybe that's why they're reaching out to you, because they know.
I think maybe when I was young, that could have been something. But as I've gotten older, I think, basically young people are more open to everything. Small children just have more openness and can experience more. I've had a couple experiences as an adult, but those were not directed at me. They were directed at my friend Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
Like one time we were living together, and although it always does seem to have the number 3. So it was 3 a.m. again. And her CD, she's a musician, her CD was in it's when we had, all those CD players with like the 5 discs that could change.
Mm-hmm.
And at full blast, like the music came on at 3 a.m., disc 3, track 3, which was one of her songs.
Oh, wow.
And we both like run out to the living room ready to yell at the other for doing it. We're like, what the hell are you doing? And we both realized neither of us had done it. And it's like, But she had other experiences with like her musical chords being tangled and tied together and things like that. So I always felt like that was more directed at her than at me.
Yeah. Where was this at?
That was when we lived in Nashville.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's wild. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of felt like I needed to say that to you. I feel like maybe that might open a door for you. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about Squonkapalooza. You're the host of Squonkapalooza, correct?
I am one of the hosts. Yes, me and Joe Fogel of Cryptotheology are the hosts, and he lives there in Johnstown. So he's kind of boots on the ground there, and I do more of the stuff that I can take care of away from there. Most of the vendor communications and social media posts and things like that. So that's kind of my role. But yeah, Squonkapalooza is less than a month away now. It's August 10th in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. They'll be at Central Park and the State Theater, and kind of down the street, like leading to the State Theater, we'll have food trucks, and there'll be entertainment at the gazebo. The speakers will be at the theater, and there'll be like over 80 vendors. We'll have all kinds of fun stuff going on, hula hooping with the squonk, magic show, live music, cryptid drag show. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of weirdos coming out to celebrate the world's saddest cryptid.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to make it out because I think we worked that day.
August 10th.
Yeah.
I think we do.
Yeah. Wait, what day would that be?
No,
that's a Sunday.
It's a Saturday.
Is this Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
Oh, yeah. That's right, because our investigation's on the 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we can make it out there.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it should be fun. There's stuff going on all the time. I should tell your listeners, for those who don't know what the squonk is, a little background on that.
Yeah, definitely.
So the squonk it's old school lumberjack folklore. It was first mentioned in a book called Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods that came out in 1910. So he's been around for a really long time. And he is said to live in the hemlock forest in Pennsylvania and cries all the time because he's so ugly. Skin doesn't fit, and he's just got serious, low self-esteem. Mm-hmm. So he tries to avoid seeing his own reflection, and it's a sad, pitiful cryptid. And so, it seems maybe like a weird one to have a festival about. But I felt immediately, when I learned about the squonk, I felt very endeared to the creature. I wrote a children's book about him called Why So Sad Squonk, and was really, invested in the story of the squonk. And I think in a lot of ways, it's the most relatable cryptid. We all feel a little squonky sometimes. Mm-hmm. So people understand the squonk, I think, more than most of the cryptid and folklore creatures out there. So we just decided, it all came about me jokingly telling everyone, someone should do a squonk festival. And eventually Joe said, let's do it. And I said, oh, okay. I was expecting someone else to, do it, not me. But Joe convinced me that he and I should take it on, and we did. And it's been awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah, I've heard before about the squonk being lumberjack lore or lumberjack stories, but what I find interesting is you would think that those stories would be made to be scary, and the squonk doesn't seem scary.
The squonk is not scary at all. His only defense mechanism is to cry so hard that he dissolves into a puddle. So definitely not a scary creature. And he's from the book Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods, so you'd expect it to be fearsome, but he is definitely the least fearsome creature ever. So it's interesting. A lot of what was going on back in lumberjack folklore is, these people would see things when they're out doing their job and try to explain it away by some, mythical creature concept. And the Slag Rock Bolter is a good example in Colorado. But at least the Slide Rock Bolter was eating tourists, so he had some kind of fearsomeness.
Yeah.
But that was basically they were seeing the damage that had been done by miners and people previously who had come through and kind of destroyed the land. And they're looking at it being like, well, what happened here? And this is how they explain it: a giant land whale that slides down and eats the tourists in the village underneath. And so, I mean, they just would make up these fantastical stories and sitting around the campfire. And it's a lot of fun and silliness that goes into most of the fearsome creatures of the Lumberwoods. So they're not true cryptids, if you want to get technical, but that line gets real blurred. I mean, the hodag is also a fearsome creature of the Lumberwoods that was created by Gene Shepard. And it's an admitted hoax. But there are so many people who still believe in the hodag. And it's just become kind of the town of Rhinelander, Wisconsin, if you've never been, go. It's the most amazing town ever. No place loves their creature more than Rhinelander, Wisconsin. There are hodags everywhere. And Gene Shepard really creating that lore saved that town. If it weren't for him, that town probably wouldn't exist. So, yeah, some of these creatures really lend themselves to, going above and beyond and making a name for a town. The Squonk didn't really do that. His resurgence didn't come until a few years ago, in part because of me.
Well, that's awesome, though. You're making a mark on history then.
I'm trying. I mean, Lord knows I love this. I love me some Squonk, so I started putting it out there back. I mean, other people had done art of the Squonk before me. Ashley Gerst is one of the most known, and she's going to be vending with us. But her Squonk image is literally everywhere, and she was doing it way before me. But I actually, pushed the notion of Squonk more so on social media. I dubbed 2022 Year of the Squonk and kept posting and reposting any art that anyone would make of the Squonk they knew I would repost. So it became kind of a thing. People would be like, oh, I'm going to do this and make Lisa post it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Something I was just thinking, and Luke and I had talked about this before with, I think, the Wendigo, because I think it's perceived to be look a certain way, and it's not. But with so many people out there, and I'm glad that you told the story, because there are a lot of people out there that are not educated on these lores and things like that. So they do believe things at face value. So you say Squonk, and they're like, yeah, right. Squonk's out there. Do you think that on a collective level, if looking from the perspective that manifestation is a thing, do you think on a collective level, if everybody is believing that the Squonk is real and is out there, that it could potentially manifest some sort of result?
No. I would like to think that, but no, I don't think that.
No. We had a conversation like that before with somebody. It was an interesting thought to think about, because it's manifestation, that's kind of a big thing nowadays, being woke and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you can manifest a lot of things, but an actual being, not so much. An actual, creature that doesn't exist, I don't think so.
Maybe on a spiritual level.
Yeah, I think you can manifest a lot spiritually and in your own soul. And, you can manifest how you want to live your life and make it happen, but I don't think a living, breathing creature.
Right.
No.
Yeah. These are the questions, man.
Right.
Oh, man. I also, checking out your Facebook, I seen that you are the creative executive of Cryptid Comforts.
I am Cryptid Comforts.
You are Cryptid Comforts.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
My main business. I specialize in handmade stuffed plushies. That's kind of my main thing. But I do a lot of other stuff too. I do pet toys and tumblers, tote bags, keychains, pins, whatever. I make all kinds of products. But specialty is definitely the handcrafted stuffed plushies of different cryptids. Started out doing Bigfoot, and I like to say Bigfoot is a gateway drug into other cryptids. So, of course, after Bigfoot, I did Nessie, and then Mothman, and then, got weirder with it and went deep and started doing some of the more obscure ones. And now I've done over 30 different cryptids, I think, at different points. Some I continue to make, and others kind of fell off because, like a lot of people didn't know what they were, or they were too hard to make, or things like that. So a lot of things fell off, but a lot of them I still make to this day and have an expansive line of different cryptids. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
that's what I do that's my full-time job.
That's amazing. Yeah, I remember seeing some of the plushies and stuff at your table at the PA Myths and Legends, and the book too. I remember looking at the book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just had to order more of the books for Squonkapalooza because I'm completely sold out. So more are on their way. I hope to get those this week. Yeah. So I'll have them for Squonkapalooza. I also, since I saw you guys have started a hot sauce, a squonk sauce.
Oh, wow.
That will be available at Squonkapalooza. And I've already sold 3 cases of that since I got it last month. So it's been popular. I'll probably continue to do that. I'm always thinking, of new fun things that I can make. And
Heck yeah. I'll have to check out the hot sauce. I love hot sauce, so I'll definitely be looking for that.
So far, it's only available at events. I haven't sold it online.
Okay.
I had someone email me yesterday. It was like, where can I get more of your hot sauce? I'm almost out and I desperately need it. I put it on everything. I was like, oh, that's so nice. But yeah, you have to see me at an event.
Well, Luke, we're going to have to go now. I need that hot sauce, so.
We need the hot sauce.
Gotta get the squash sauce.
Oh, actually,
it's a really mild tomatillo jalapeno, so it's not like a hot sauce. It's very mellow, more flavor than heat.
Oh, okay, yeah. I like trying different hot sauces. I got an assortment.
Real good on scrambled eggs.
On scrambled eggs, I don't think I've ever tried it on scrambled eggs. I'll have to try that. Before we wrap this up, I wanted to know, is there somewhere online that people can get your books?
Yes. As soon as they come back in, I'll put them back up on my Etsy shop. So etsy.com/shop/Cryptid Comfort Shop, or just go to cryptidcomforts.com. All of my links are there. That has my Instagram, my Facebook, my website, my Etsy, everything. So cryptidcomforts.com is the best place to find all of that. And then also Squonkapalooza.com for all your squonk related info. And Squonkapalooza on Instagram, Facebook.
Cool.
All that.
Yeah, and we'll post those links in our show notes. That way people can find that stuff a lot easier. Yeah. Does your book come signed, out of curiosity?
I usually, when I sell them online, unless somebody requests I sign it, I don't. But at events, I always ask people if they want me to sign it. So I try to sign them if people want me to. Usually people want me to, but not always.
Yeah. I think I would like a signed copy.
I'm definitely willing to sign it for you.
I appreciate that. Well, Luke, did you have any other questions or anything?
No. Not really.
Yeah. Is there anything that you wanted to add to this, Lisa?
You know what I didn't mention? I also do. See, I have my hand in like everything cryptid. So I also work for Cryptid Crate. If you guys aren't familiar, it's like a monthly subscription service that's all cryptozoology themed stuff. And I'm the curator for the Cryptid Crate, along with Mike, who's the owner, and he and I work together and create fun cryptid themed stuff. There's a junior crate and a regular crate. And the junior crate is how I started off with them. That's a collaboration between Cryptid Crate and Cryptid Comforts. I make plushies for it. So
oh my gosh,
all
that's
the
so
plushies
cool.
in the junior Cryptid Crate are mine. Original, handmade, one of a kinds.
That's amazing. No, I don't think I've ever heard of that, but I love subscription boxes, so I'll definitely be looking into that
it's
too.
a fun one.
Yeah, that'd be a
It
cool one.
definitely keeps me busy. But yeah, the regular crate is targeted at adults. You know, we have books and games and T-shirts and, you know, miscellaneous swag. And then the junior one has a T-shirt, a plushie, and a trading card, and then a bunch of miscellaneous stuff.
Oh, wow.
Top Gun Flow is currently doing her trading cards. So I switched it each year. First, Holly Who did our trading cards, and then Cryptoteology did them. Now Top Gun Flow is doing them.
Oh, cool. Where can they find the Cryptid Crate? Or is that on your website as well?
It is boxmountainllc.com or cryptidcrate.com. We'll get you there.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I don't think that I have anything else to add to this. Luke?
No, I'm good.
No? Thank you so much, Lisa, for coming on. This was great.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to chat with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You too.
And like I said, we'll put those links in the show notes. That way people can find you easier.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
Now, before this doesn't have to be a part of the podcast, the guy that was next to you at the PA Mything Legends,
Yeah,
the
that's
one who
Joe, my co-host.
he was drawing all the was it drawings? He had drawings of like Spider-Man, Mothman, and stuff like that. Is that him?
Yeah, that's my co-host, Joe.
Would you be able to send us a link to his page? Because I really liked his Wendigo
Absolutely.
drawing. And I couldn't find him.
Send you that. Yeah, it's Cryptoteology, so I'll send it to you.
Awesome, thanks.
All
Yeah,
right.
no problem.
Thanks again, Lisa. You have a great day.
You too.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks everybody for listening to another episode of Explaining the Name. We really enjoyed talking to Lisa today about a Squonkapalooza, and her paranormal encounters when she was a child. You ready for that would you rather question?
I'm trying. It keeps giving me ones that we've already done. Has AI come, is this what it is? Like it's just a loop and then we've just circled back? Do you think that on a collective level, like everybody together, believing so much in the squonk that it could potentially be manifested on some sort of spiritual or dimensional plane or something like that can either just be a part of our regular existence or bleed into?
I mean, yeah, I could see it maybe being a spiritual thing, kind of like a Wendigo or a Skinwalker or something like that, how they're spiritual. I'd say yeah. I think it's a good possibility it could be a thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's an interesting way of looking at things because, like I said, there's so many people out there, and like manifestation is such a hot topic right now that it makes you wonder, like, can so much thought energy be put into something that it becomes real? Like, who were we talking about that with? I think it was Frater Crow. We were talking about that. Like, if everybody believed that Superman existed and then, at some point we are going to get results, what would be the results of us believing in the Wendigo like that? Or, well, I mean, it could be a thing, that maybe we've already manifested it and then that's what these experiences people are having are.
I mean, it could also be maybe like different dimensions or something like that too.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's a squawk in a different dimension or a different realm.
What if it was a movie? I don't know. I just had this thought. What if we made a movie about the squonk? Well, no, maybe not. Maybe not. That would be, never mind. Scratch that idea. We're going to cut this part out just to let you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I am going to tell you my idea. What if we made a movie that it was like about the squonk and it was the sad creature, right? The regular lore, but it was a horror movie and it only used that as a way to lure you in.
What?
Like the crying and the weeping and the sad in the woods, and then the people are like, "Oh my gosh, I have to go see what's wrong," and then they go, and then the squonk eats them.
It's not a bad idea. I kind of like that idea. We should look into that. All right. Well, see you next week on another episode of Explaining a Name.
See you then.